Oh, you could have had it all. Rolling in the deep. Ooh. But you played it, you played it, you played it, you played it to my beat. Yeah. Let's get rocking.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our life on purpose. A new show comes out at the end of every
purchase for the 2019 inaugural season. You can get season tickets for as low as $5 a game. Visit the sales tent located beside guest services behind home plate for more information. Attention fans, the Live Source app is the exclusive auction app of the Atlantic League. You can bid on game use items, Rockers experiences, and even purchase 50/50 raffle tickets, all from the comfort of your seat. Simply visit the App Store for iPhone or Google Play, create your account, and start winning today. Custom Rockers jerseys are also available for auction through the app, so get going now. Fans, during all home games, if the Rockers clean the bases, all fans in attendance will receive a coupon for a free jewelry cleaning courtesy of Simon Jewelers. Fans, every Sunday home game is Family Fun Day, presented by Bethany Medical, with pregame autographs and a chance for kids 13 and under to run the bases after the game. Sundays are a great way to spend time with your family and ours. The next Bethany Medical Family Fun Day is Sunday, June 2nd.
Good evening and welcome to BB&T Point. I'm Kevin McMahon, and we are ready for another night of High Point Rocker baseball as the Rockers host the Long Island Ducks. The Ducks come into today's game with a 16-8 record, which is the best record in the Atlantic League. Their percentage a little bit lower than the Patriots, so not technically in first, but your Rockers are a half game back out of first place. I'm Kevin McMahon, and in just a moment, I'm going to be joined by the public relations coordinator for the Rockers in James Jackson. We host a podcast called Off the Rockers. It's a podcast that comes out weekly, every Monday, about the High Point Rockers, and you can hear James there. James, how are you?
I am eager to start this wonderful series we have.
It should be a good one. James will be joining me here today on the pregame show. And, yeah, where do you start? I mean, I guess you start with the High Point Rockers. They're on a tremendous streak right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, they've won 6 in a row.
Yes.
9 of their last 10.
Yes.
And they're looking to keep that going. But the obstacle that stands in their way, just, the best team in the league and the team that is one of the mainstays in the Atlantic League. When most people think the Atlantic League, one of the first teams they name, if not the first team they name, is the Long Island Ducks.
Kevin, honestly, I would not be surprised if we see these two teams duking it out at the end of the year. I mean, the way the Rockers are playing now and the way that the Ducks have been playing, I would not be surprised if we see these two going at it at the end of the year for the top spot in the Liberty Division.
Rockers fans in their first season would be very happy about that. The Long Island Ducks, 16-8, your Rockers 15-8. A very important series. 3 games for the Rockers, and it's going to be quick because it's tonight at 6:30. Anytime you have a day game in the mix, that increases, the length of time you have. You have to a quick turnaround.
Oh, yeah.
The Ducks tomorrow, 10:30 start time between the Rockers and the Long Island Ducks, and that is school day. And then it rounds out on Thursday night, 6:30. So a quick series. That morning game kind of throws a little bit of a curveball in there in the sense that you have to have a series that's so important in a different way. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely going to throw it off.
It's challenging.
Because then you're going to go back the next night and play at 6:30.
Well, and depending on when this game ends, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
Without going an extra inning.
You're right. And
there can always be more.
And the Atlantic League is quick. This thing could be over, with the new rules and everything and the way everybody plays.
This is definitely
this thing could be over at 8:30. But either way, you will have been playing the night before, early wake up, and we got baseball coming out at 10:30 a.m. So that's a quick turnaround. That's going to be tough for the Rockers.
Let's talk about the pitching matchup we have here with Seth Simmons versus Jake Fisher here.
What do you know about those guys?
Seth Simmons is honestly he's getting his 5th start tonight. And he's really, he's so good. He's got 2 wins so far this season. He is tied for the most strikeouts on the Rockers roster. I mean, Seth Simmons is really, I believe he was, taking a couple games off, but he really, he's really a threat here anytime he's on the mound.
I like watching him work. He works really fast. He has really good stuff, and this is going to sound basic, but he's really good at getting outs. He gets ahead in the count early, and when he's laser focused and locked in, he's hard to beat.
It's game over. Once he gets in his zone and he's really good, it's almost impossible to beat him, honestly.
And on the mound for the Ducks is Jake Fisher. What do you know about Fisher?
Fisher, he's getting his 5th start also for the Ducks, but he's looking to get his 3rd win this season. And Fisher has really been one of the top pitchers in the league so far. Strikeouts with 22 right now in the young season. That's impressive. Jake Fisher's really one of the guys, when you're comparing who is one of the best pitchers in the league, he's obviously in the discussion.
James Jackson here with us, the media relations coordinator with the High Point Rockers, joining us here on the pregame show. We're going to go through the starting lineup, and then we'll see what other notes James has for us. First, for the Long Island Ducks, batting first, it's Ray Fuentes. Batting second, the second baseman, Steve Lombardozzi. Number 24, Kirk Neuenhaus in right field. Number 17, Matt Den Decker in left field, batting fourth. Batting fifth, it's number 33 tonight in the gray, David Washington, the first baseman. Batting sixth, number 37, Hector Sanchez, the catcher. Seventh, number 29, Daniel Fields, the DH. Batting eighth, number 9 for the Ducks, it's Rando Moreno. And then ninth, number 1 at shortstop, it's Vladimir Frias. And then for the Rockers, it's Leidendorf at second base. Tyler Leidendorf batting first, the leadoff man. 33, Breland Almadova, center field batting second. Hector Gomez batting third, the third baseman. Batting cleanup, Steven Cardulo in right field. Batting fifth, Dante Bichette Jr., the first baseman. Batting sixth, the DH, King Quincy Lattimore. Batting seventh, Miles Schroeder in left field. Brett Austin behind the plate tonight, batting eighth at 29. And at shortstop, number 1, Giovanni Alfonso.
If anything, that's a stacked lineup. In all honesty, on both sides it's great, but the Rockers have just a boatload of talent so far.
And the way that both teams have been playing, I think both fan bases in the crowd, the great crowd that's going to be on hand tonight on this Taco Tuesday at BB&T Point, is in for quite the display.
Oh, really? Hands down. I mean, first of all, you're getting amazing tacos by Chef Jason Perry. I mean, it's the best tacos in the league. I can't. Did you hear that we're doing the Long Island iced teas here for this series? Did you know that?
Is that on Thursday?
That is a thing for this series. We're doing Long Island stuff.
All series?
I believe so.
Oh, all right.
Either all series or Thursday. Either way, it's going to happen when the Ducks are in town. They're getting Long Island.
The drink of Long Island, and one of my favorite drinks.
What a way to welcome one of the best teams in the league.
Absolutely.
Promote a drink for them. But honestly, this is going to be fun as we have the ceremonial first pitch going out here. We'll pass it over to you.
We are just getting started. We were lucky enough to have the hero from the last game, Tyler Leidendorf. He had a walk-off solo home run in the ninth inning with 2 outs, and he was able to send the Rockers home with a win. They went into their off day feeling good because they had won 6 in a row. They swept the series, and they have won 9 out of their last 10. The Rockers are red hot. And let's hear from the man who's been so helpful on that stretch. Here's the hero from Sunday. Got to talk to him earlier this afternoon. The second baseman for the High Point Rockers, Tyler Leidendorf, and myself earlier this afternoon. All right, Rockers fans, Kevin McMahon here with Tyler Leidendorf, second baseman for the High Point Rockers. And as of this recording, last time we saw him, he was the hero. So we're going to start there. I know you got a game today. We're going to start there. Walk me through the moment for you, sweeping the series, keeping the red-hot streak alive for the Rockers, and a walk-off home run, first one in the team's history. Walk us through that moment.
You just kind of see what Leitos was doing. Just continue to, just kind of challenge with the fastball, and you just want to kind of be aggressive in that scenario. No one's really good enough to just say, hey, I'm gonna hit a home run this swing. You're just trying to hit, make some loud contact. Pitcher's just up enough to where, it's just kind of. It's, where that pitch was thrown, you feel like that's where you should hit it. And so, but no, it's just trying to just keep the momentum going. I feel like every night it's somebody different, it's stepping up. So it's just fun to be a part of right now.
And what's it like being on a team where you have so many guys who can contribute? Does it make it easier for you?
Yeah, no, I feel like, it should take the pressure off everybody, 1 through 9, the pitcher included. I feel like with the way we pitch, with the way we play defense, way we put together at bats, whether we're struggling at the time or having success, I feel like we're quick to make adjustments. And that's just, having professional at bats, guys taking pride in just what they're doing, pitch to pitch. And, when you get a group of guys doing that collectively, you kind of see what we're kind of able to achieve right now.
Talking to manager Jamie Keefe early in the year, he said that he feels like one of the identities on this team, especially early, was your defense. And he felt like the guy who was really leading the way with that was you. So what's your mindset when you go out there defensively every single day?
I feel like when you're in the middle of the field, whether it's catcher, pitcher, second base, shortstop, center field, obviously the pitcher and catcher, but, I feel like you're one of the top 2 or 3 people, that are most involved. So it's not a matter of taking charge, trying to, tell people where to stand or anything like that. But no, it's just, just little communication, making sure everybody's on the same page, just reading swings, whether you got to switch, a sign up or whatever, there's just so many little intricacies that kind of go into it. But it's just, just kind of feeling the flow of the game. And we got smart players, so it's not like every other pitch I'm looking around watching guys. So no, it does. It makes my job, super easy.
You guys are off to a great start right now, a red hot win streak. How fun has it been to be on this team and in the way that you guys are playing right now?
No, we got a good clubhouse. The way Skip is, just his laid back attitude. And, when he feels like he needs to fight for his guys, he does. So when you see kind of that side come out of him, it does. It makes you, I guess, secretly kind of play that much harder. When you know that everybody kind of in the clubhouse, everybody in the dugout is kind of pulling at least in the same direction. It does. There's just a little more. I don't know if you want to call it attention to detail with just the little things, but I feel like guys, like I said, guys are taking pride in what they're doing every day, and we got a good group. It seems like all the guys are heading in the same direction, which is, it's why you play the game, to be in a group in a scenario like this.
And last question, and when I asked Dante this early in the week, he said, if you think we're paying attention to that kind of stuff, we're not. But the Ducks come in today, and they are, the number 1 team in the division, number 1 team in the league, best record. So what do you guys have to do to, come on the other side and get the W, and any extra energy when maybe a team like that's in the park today?
A little bit. It's, I guess, kind of that adds, obviously they're having success as a team, but you just kind of see some of the names, I feel like on every team in this league, plenty of former big leaguers. So they got quite a few former big leaguers. Some names that I'm sure people would recognize. So you step on the field with guys that play at that level for an extended period of time. There's not a sense of something to prove, but it's like, hey, if you feel like you can be on that field, on this field with playing with at that kind of level with a guy like that or against a guy like that. You got a shot. So it's, I do. I feel like it brings the best out of everybody.
Well, Tara, we appreciate you stopping by and good luck today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&C Point. Kevin McMahon here with you as we get set for the Long Island Ducks and the High Point Rockers to play some Atlantic League baseball. As we talked about in the pregame show with James Jackson. A lot at stake here in this in this series right here. Your Rockers, a half game out of first. Percentage-wise, they are third with a percentage of .652 winning percentage. The Ducks, .667, and the Patriots at a .682, the Somerset Patriots. So all three teams are lumped together. The Patriots and Ducks are tied for first. The Rockers are a half game out. So your Rockers at 15-8, the Ducks 16-8, the Patriots 15-7. So a very important series. Every game of this one is going to be crucial in this very early part of the season. A lot of seasons left to go, but the Rockers could make a little bit of a statement here with a couple of wins. We are ready for baseball. Simmons gets ready as Ray Fuentes is in the box. The first pitch from BB&T Point. Let's rock. Simmons comes off the mound, catches the pop-up that was hit right back to him off of the bat of Fuentes. So a one pitch out to get things started here at BB&T Point. This is going to bring up number 2, Steve Lombardozzi, the second baseman for the Long Island Ducks. Simmons, the pitch. The first pitch of the at-bat, a strike. Oh-1 count. Here comes the 0-1 from Simmons. This one down and out of the zone, 1-1 count. The 1-1. Kind of a swinging bunt, hit right back in front of Brett Austin. Austin ran to it, tried to barehand it and throw it over to first base. Didn't have enough time to do so. The ball was hit just softly enough, and that is going to be scored as a hit here at BB&T Point. So Steve Lombardozzi is going to get on with basically a swinging bunt that'll put him on first base. Kirk Neuenhuis, the right fielder, number 24 for the Long Island Ducks, steps up to the plate. The Rockers in their home grays. The Ducks in their road grays. The first pitch to Neuenheis. A strike from Simmons, 0-1. One out in the top of the first. Your Rockers red hot on a 6-game win streak. They hope to keep it alive here today. One man on. The 0-1 fouled away by Neuenheis. Hector Gomez sprinting towards the third base dugout. Hits the net and gets the pop-up for out number 2. Great hustle by Hector Gomez. Two outs in the inning. But because of the hit by Lombardozzi, this brings up Matt Den Decker. Number 17, batting cleanup here for the Ducks, the left fielder for the Long Island Ducks. Two outs. The first pitch of the at-bat to Den Decker. Outside for a ball. Lombardozzi still on first. Den Decker comes into the game hitting .333 with 16 hits on the season. Simmons comes set the 1-0 to Den Decker. This one hit into right field. Will it stay fair? It goes foul, out of play. Cardullo was chasing that one down, but unable to do anything with it as it soared out of bounds. A 1-1 count for Den Decker. Simmons, the 1-1. That one in there for a strike. 1-2. Lombardozzi on the base pass for the Ducks at first base. The 1-2 from Simmons. This one popped up. Both Austin and Gomez try to track it down. It'll hit on the top of the third base dugout. Youngster made a nice little play on that off the bounce. Gets a nice applause here from the crowd at BB&T Point on this Taco Tuesday. A 1-2 count here for Seth Simmons. Here in the top of the first, 2 outs. Simmons trying to get out of the inning. A runner on first. The 1-2. This one fouled away again. Will it be in play this time for Austin? It hits off the net as Austin was charging over to the third base dugout. It was going to try to lean over and make the play over the railing. One-two count here as Matt Den Decker stays alive. Simmons is going to try it again here on the mound for the Rockers. The 1-2. Tipped away by Den Decker. So Matt Den Decker doing his best to stay alive here. Simmons got off to a great start, a one-pitch out, but Matt Den Decker really working the count here on him, working the pitch count, that is. The 1-2. Lombardozzi was in motion, and he makes it over to second with no throw. So 1-2 count, Lombardozzi moves over to second base. That could end up being a big factor here for the Ducks if Den Decker can get on base. Won't matter if Simmons can get the out here. The 2-2. This one hit into left field. and it is caught for out number 3 by Miles Schroeder, who is able to track it down. And that is how the inning comes to an end. 1 left on 1 hit, no runs for the Ducks. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Your Rockers due up. It's Ladendorf, Almadova, and Gomez due up for the Rockers in the bottom of the first. We'll be right back. You're listening to High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with you as it's the Rockers and the Long Island Ducks going at it. 0-0 is the score here in the bottom of the first. The Rockers come to the plate. It's Tyler Ladendorf. The second baseman for the Rockers, Tyler Ladendorf. The first pitch to Ladendorf. In there for strike 1. Ladendorf comes into the game hitting a .291 average. The second pitch, they say he went. So quickly 0-2 on the mound for the Ducks is Jake Fisher, as we talked about in the pregame with James Jackson. The 0-2 pitch to Ladendorf, up in the zone for a ball, 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Fisher. Ladendorf swings at it, and Fisher gets the first strikeout of the day. This is going to bring up Breland Almadova. This brings up Breland Almadova for the High Point Rockers. 1 out in the inning. The first pitch, Almadova showing bunt, and he might make it. He will. Almadova is speedy. A little bit of miscommunication between Sanchez and Fisher. And Almadova makes it. I can't believe I'm saying this. Made it no problem. Not many times do you say a guy made it no problem on a bunt for a hit, but he has the speed and he tends to catch people off guard when he goes to that move in his arsenal. This brings up Hector Gomez, the third baseman, with 15 RBIs on the season. He is dangerous when he has men on. The first pitch of the at-bat, hit into center field for out number 2, not deep enough to move over Almadova, so he'll stay put at first. Steven Cardullo, number 65, the right fielder for the High Point Rockers, makes his way to the plate. Almadova at first for the Rockers. 2 outs. Fisher trying to get out of the inning as he throws over to first. Almodovar not going anywhere. But you got to check him, especially with how fast he is. He, got on base with a bunt. So you definitely want to check on him. The first pitch of the at-bat to Cardullo. Fouled away, 0-1. Almodovar on first. Cardullo at the plate. On the mound for the Ducks, it's Jake Fisher, number 13. On deck for the Rockers, it would be Dante Bichette Jr. if Cardullo can reach. Cardullo batting cleanup, and it makes sense. He is a red-hot hitter right now for the Rockers. 298 always tends to come up in big situations. Fisher, the 0-1. Almodovar going this time. The throw from Sanchez in time, and they throw him out at second. A stealing Almodovar caught at second, thrown out by a great throw from Sanchez behind the plate for the Ducks. Hector Sanchez with quite the throw. So the Rockers of 1 hit, nobody left on, no runs. We head to the top of the second, and it is scoreless as Seth Simmons makes his way back out to the mound for the Rockers. We'll be right back with the top of the second inning. Due up for the Ducks, it's Washington, Sanchez, and Fields. You're listening to High Point Rockers Baseball on the High Point Rockers Broadcasting Network.
How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with you. As we are ready for the top of the second inning, stepping in is David Washington as he has to shuffle out of the way for ball 1-0. Washington, who sometimes wears 30, wearing 33 tonight in these road gray uniforms. The 1-0. This one hit high into the air by Washington. Gomez going to track it down in foul territory for out number 1 of the top of the second inning. So Seth Simmons started the inning, last inning, with a 1-pitch, 1 out. And this time gets an out on 2 pitches. So that is a nerdy stat I just rattled off, but pretty impressive. Especially after that long at-bat he had with Neuenhuis. That'll help him in the long run if Simmons tries to take this thing pretty far. We'll have to wait and see. The first pitch to Hector Sanchez out of the zone, 1-0. Sanchez, the catcher for the Long Island Ducks, who just had a really impressive play behind the plate when he threw out Almodovar at second base for the third out. The 1-0 from Simmons. A big swing from Sanchez for strike 1. The 1-1 from Simmons. Sanchez hits this one into center field. It was hit hard, but right at Almodovar for out number 2. That one had some pop off the bat. If he hits that one Anywhere else, that's at least a single. But 2 outs in the inning. No hits so far. This brings up Daniel Fields. 1 hit in the game came in the first inning from the bat of Lamberdosi. At the plate right now, this is Daniel Fields. The first pitch to him is a strike, 0-1. The 0-1. Outside for a ball, 1-1 count. 2 outs so far. Simmons and Fisher working pretty quick here on the mound. The 1-1 from Simmons. A big cut from Fields for strike 2. A 1-2 count here for Daniel Fields. Simmons saw 4 batters last inning, trying to get the Ducks to go down 1-2-3 here in the second. The pitch. Swung on, a swinging strikeout for Seth Simmons. He walks off the mound. He likes that one. 1-2-3. Simmons gets the Ducks to go down in order. The High Point Rockers due up here in the bottom of the second. You'll see Cardullo, or you'll see Bichette Jr., Lattimore, and Schroeder. Cardullo ended the inning. So due up for your Rockers, Bichette Jr., Lattimore, and Schroeder. We'll be right back. You're listening to High Point Rockers Baseball.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Kevin McMahon here with you at BB&T Points. We welcome you back to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Kevin McMahon. Steven Cardullo steps in for the Rockers. The first pitch from Fisher. A strike as Cardullo swung on it and tipped it off. Jake Fisher, the pitcher for the Long Island Ducks. The 0-1 to... Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Steven Cardullo still up to bat here for your Rockers. I got confused because Almadova got thrown out last time. So it's still Cardullo. He hits this one into left field, and that one is gone. Send it, a solo shot for Steven Cardullo. Almadova got thrown out at second last inning to end the inning. Cardullo got a new lease on life in the batter's box. And in the second inning, he takes Fisher deep with a solo shot to start the bottom of the second inning. So this brings up Dante Bichette Jr. Glad I have everything under control now. The first pitch to Bichette Jr. out of the zone for a ball, 1-0. That's one Fisher is going to want back. A solo shot there from Cardullo. Yeah, I think you might still be thinking about is the next pitch down in the dirt, 2-0. So Cardullo got a second chance to hit because Almodovar got thrown out and leads off the bottom of the second with a solo shot. 2-1 count after Bichette Jr. looks at a strike. The 2-1 to Dante. This one hit hard by Dante Fowl. If you listen to this week's podcast, Off the Rockers, the podcast of the Rockers, with myself and James Jackson, who you heard from earlier, the PR guy for the Rockers, we had Dante Bichette join us, and he is just a treat. So you really need to check that out. The 2-2, as Bichette fouls this one off of his own ankle, but has a smile on his face and gets helped back up there by Sanchez. Bichette Jr., a guy with a great attitude, super nice, but an awesome personality. Rides to the game on a scooter every day from where he stays. That's the kind of guy he is. The pitch to Bichette Jr., he reaches across the plate to make the hit. He tries to beat it out. It's close. He's thrown out at first. The throw from Lombardozzi. So 1 out in the inning as Bichette Jr. tried to run that one out, but Lombardozzi's throw over to Washington beat him. This brings up Quincy Lattimore, who Bichette Jr. refers to as King Quincy. The first pitch of the at-bat in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 swung on by Lattimore, 0-2. The 0-2 pitch bounces before it gets to Quincy for ball 1, 1-2. If Quincy hits a home run, Dante Bichette Jr. meets him at the top of the stairs of the dugout and places an imaginary crown upon his head to confirm his king status. And you can hear all the details about that on the pod. He let us know. The 1-2 to Quincy up in the zone, 2-2. The 2-2 to Lattimore. Lattimore fouls this one back as it bounces off the net. Quincy, a guy who has a ton of power. 6 home runs for Quincy so far. On the last road trip, he hit 5 home runs in 6 games. The 2-2 to Quincy. A big strikeout for Fisher as Quincy has a big swing, unable to connect. A swinging strikeout for Fisher as Lattimore goes down. Miles Schroeder. Sometimes plays catcher tonight in left field for your Rockers. Him and Brett Austin tend to split time there behind the plate. Austin on deck. The first pitch to Schroeder. Up in the zone. Up out of the zone for ball 1. (1-0) to Schroeder. He swings at it for strike 1. The 1-1. A big swing from Schroeder. Strike 2. the 1-2. This one out of the zone there for a ball, 2-1. Or 2-2, I should say. The 2-2. This one hit down the line by Schroeder. It gets foul. Had home run range, but foul. A 1-0 lead for your High Point Rockers off a solo shot from Steven Cardulo to start the top of the second inning. Or the bottom of the second inning, I should say. So we reset here for Schroeder. The 2-2. Schroeder hits this one. It gets down into right field. One hops to Neuenhuis. And this brings up Brett Austin, Giovanni Alfonso in the on-deck circle. So Schroeder gets on with a single. Brett Austin at the plate. 5 RBIs for him. This one hit into left field, and it is caught on the run by Den Decker for out number 3. So Fisher and the Ducks get out of the inning, but not before the Rockers score off of Steven Cardulo's solo shot to make it 1-0. So it's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. We head to the top of the third, and the Long Island Ducks will be up. It'll be Moreno, Frias, and Fuentes coming up for the Ducks. We'll be right back. You're listening to High Point Rockers Baseball on the High Point Rockers Broadcasting Network.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with you. And we're joined in the top of the third inning by the man who was with us in the pregame show. It's the media relations coordinator for the Rockers, James Jackson, joining us for a little while, so we're happy to have him. It's Rando Moreno in the batter's box here for the Ducks. The first pitch, a strike. James, welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me back. What'd you think of that Cardulo home run?
It was a great shot and a great start so far for the Rockers.
I know they loved it in the dugout. They were celebrating like crazy.
Moreno's sends it over to right field, caught on the fly by Cardulo, the man we were just talking about, for out number 1.
Cardulo's definitely one of those guys you want to come up big for you. He's definitely been playing really good baseball this series. Or not even this one, just against the...
for the homestand.
Yeah, the homestand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess your statement, he is playing good baseball this series. We're 2 innings in, and he hit a home run, so that's pretty good.
What did you think of the sportsmanship when Dante fell down?
I like that. Frias up to bat here for the Ducks. The first pitch in for a ball to him. It's Vladimir Frias, the shortstop, number 1. 1 out in the inning. Simmons. This one fouled away by Frias.
Simmons has been playing great ball so far. He's been really pitching well tonight.
He did. The one hit against him was the kind of swinging bunt almost from Lombardozzi. So
he likes to be generous and give him 1.
Yeah, really, he's not hasn't shown the Ducks really anything to hit so far. That one fouled away again by Frias.
The Ducks are really swinging at anything right now, just trying to get on base.
Well, all of a sudden, you look up at the board and you're down 1-0, and a little bit of pressure on you now as hitters for the Ducks. As Frias in the box here for the Ducks. The 1-2 from Simmons. This one down in the turf for a ball, 2-2.
Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It is still early.
Still very early.
They still can't come back.
No, absolutely. I think if you ask the Ducks, they plan on it.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think they'd rather. I'd rather think they'd rather be leading than playing catch up, though.
Or have it scoreless. That was all I was saying. Is it puts a new pressure on you they didn't have earlier. The 2-2 swung on, not connected, and it's a strike as that one gets past Frias for strike 3.
There we go. Simmons again coming up big for the Rockers with another strikeout too. I'm looking at the Circle K signs getting put up over in the outfield.
Yeah, the second strikeout on the night for Seth Simmons. This brings up Ray Fuentes, who had a 1-pitch at bat last time. Popped up to the pitcher. The first pitch of the at bat for Fuentes, a strike, 0-1 count. Simmons trying to get the Ducks to go down 1-2-3 here again like he did last inning. The 0-1 from Simmons. This one outside for a ball, 1-1.
Ducks are just looking for anything right now. They're just looking for a perfect swing that Seth Simmons isn't going to give them right now. They're not going to get that perfect pitch.
Ducks looking to get a little 2-out rally going. The 1-1. Hit into the crowd. Foul. 1-2.
What's that, like the 9th foul tonight from Long Island? They're swinging at a lot of things, and it's keeps going over to their dugout.
That's a good point, James. They're lengthening these at-bats, so they're making Simmons work, even though he has had a few short at-bats, but has had some long ones as well. The 1-2, this one hit into play by Fuentes. In the air, Leidendorf communicates to Alfonso that he has it, makes the play at second base for out number 3.
Who else but Tyler Leidendorf, right?
He's a great defender for the Rockers. That was a dangerous one there as Alfonso and Leidendorf were both going for 2 great defenders for High Point. They communicate and are able to get out of the inning.
They actually had 3, so I hope somebody was going to catch that.
The Ducks go down in order, 1, 2, 3. Due up next for the Rockers. It's Alfonso Leidendorf and Almodovar here in the bottom of the 3rd. We'll be right back. This is the High Point Rockers Broadcasting Network.
Byrne, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon, James Jackson joining us here for a little while. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop for the Rockers, makes his way to the plate as we get ready for the bottom of the third. The first pitch from Fisher. This one popped up by Alfonso, who's going to grab it for the Ducks. It's Fuentes in center field who makes the play. So Fisher, after giving up a home run in the last inning, starts off the bottom of the third with a one-pitch out. He'll take that one, James.
Well, I was going to say before the early out is Gio was visiting his old teammates today. He was enjoying an early morning of visiting his old teammates of Long Island. Very happy to be a part of this organization, but definitely happy to be seeing them again.
Happy to see his guys. Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman for the Rockers, in there now. He saw strike number one.
You know who else is hot? Is Breland Almodovar, who's on deck right now.
The 0-1 hit here by Ladendorf into the crowd for 0-2. Hit far, though. A long strike. As James mentioned, Almodovar on deck for the Rockers. One of the 3 hits for the Rockers so far. Got on with a bunt.
I'd look for Ladendorf to get on first here.
The 0-2 here out of the zone. That one a ball, 1-2 count. Ladendorf, the leadoff man. Great at getting on base, whether it be a hit, a home run, doesn't matter.
Most likely a walk. I wouldn't want to pitch to Ladendorf.
That one right down Main Street there, a good-looking pitch, fooled Ladendorf. And that is strike 3. So Fisher, a big-time strike to a great hitter in Tyler Ladendorf.
Almodovar here at home plate. Let's see if we can get another home run of this homestand.
Breland Almodovar stepping up there. Got a big home run against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs.
His first of a long time. He told me he was very happy to get that one. It's been a long time coming.
The first pitch of the at-bat, a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 to Almodovar. This one hit right to Frias. A hard hit, but a line drive at Frias for out number 3.
Frias didn't even blink. Caught that one right off the bat.
Nice play by him, and Fisher comes out and answers after giving up the home run last inning and is able to put forward a 1-2-3 inning. All right, so due up for the Ducks here in the top of the 4th. It'll be Lombardozzi, Neuenhuis, and Den Decker. The 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Ducks. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching High Point Rockers Baseball.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. I'm Kevin McMahon. We got James Jackson joining us here.
The one, the only.
The one and only. That's the best way to put it.
I'm probably not the only, but, I like to think I am.
Well, you're the only one we care to address.
Smart answer.
Here in the top of the 4th, it's the Long Island Ducks stepping up to the plate. It's number 2, Steve Lombardozzi. Lombardozzi looks at the first pitch for a ball. Seth Simmons still on the mound here for the High Point Rockers. The 1-0 from Simmons. This one in there for a strike, 1-1 count. A 1-1 count for Lombardozzi. The 1-1 fouled away. Quickly 2 strikes on Steve Lombardozzi. Lombardozzi, a former major leaguer, played for quite a few clubs. The 1-2, this one fouled away as Lombardozzi staying alive.
He's just coming off of a time in AAA in Nashville.
He is one of the names that jumps off the roster when you look at the Ducks roster, a guy who's been around for a long time. The 1-2 from Simmons. This one hit down the left field line, goes foul, bounces over into the party picnic pavilion area. Looks like some folks out there having a good time.
Oh, definitely. As we speak of having a good time, Hype's walking in front of our broadcast booth right now.
That guy.
That dude's up to no.
That guy
no good.
knows.
He's trouble.
He knows how to have a good time.
He's awesome.
That's your roommate, right?
Yeah. Yes. Actually.
Yeah. The 1-2.
Makes a mess everywhere.
Out of the zone, 2-2.
Simmons has really been pitching well tonight.
He's looking to keep it going, looking for the first out of the inning, the 2-2, or of his half of the inning. This one hit up into right field. Cardullo is there for out number 1.
Easy pop fly.
It's tough with this sun, though, in this stadium. The sun comes in bright off the turf, too. Looks easy from up here, but that sun isn't playing no games.
I'm sure Cardullo would disagree with my statement, but obviously being in the broadcast booth, it's totally different than being on the ball field. It's totally different.
Kirk Neuenhuis stepping in here for the Ducks.
He has major league experience as well. Played in the Mariners organization.
The first pitch to Neuenhuis. Down for a ball. James, you were down there in the dugout, you said, when the home run came off the bat of Cardullo. Pretty lively down there?
Oh, it was ecstatic. The guys were going crazy, throwing water on him, just like they did with Leidendorf's home run not too long ago. They were having a good old time. Great group of guys. They just treat each other like family, and that's something you want. You need that enthusiasm in the dugout if you want to succeed.
A 1-1 count here. Quickly 1-2 now after a big swing from Neuenhuis. 1 out in the inning. Simmons has 2 strikeouts on the night so far. The 1-2 from Simmons. This one down in the turf, bounces up. 2-2 count now for Neuenhuis.
Neuenhuis is looking to make something happen. He's not a small boy. He's 6'3", 225.
That is a big man.
He is a very big man. He'll look down to us any day.
The 2-2 hit up into left field. Schroeder is there to make the play, out number 2. So 2 pop-ups to the outfield.
Both in the sun, too. As we were making note of that earlier.
Yeah, that's tough. The shadows have pretty much covered the entire infield, but that outfield still very much in the sun. Center field especially. It's going to be a while for Almodovar until he's out of the clear.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Den Decker up to bat here for the Ducks now. The first pitch of the at-bat swung on, strike number 1. He was looking to put that one in the seats right there. A big swing.
Den Decker as well with major league experience with the Mets. They have a lot of major league experience on this team on Long Island.
And here comes the 0-1 from Simmons. This one out of the zone there for a ball. Talking to Tyler Leidendorf before the game, and he said the Ducks have a ton of major league experience, and when you look around the entire league, you know, a lot of teams with major league experience.
That's very good for the Atlantic League right now. And I mean, credit to Somerset's broadcaster, Mark Schwartz. making it on ESPN Sports Center the other day with
Yeah,
that
we
catch
have
against us.
Basically Major League broadcasters as well, guys making plays like that.
Or definitely.
2-1, Leidendorf, a pro in his own right, played for the A's. The 2-1. This one hit hard by Den Decker into right field.
Oh, Dulo with an error.
That's not an error. That was a tough play. That'll go down as a hit. That bounces up, ground rule double into the stands. That would have been quite the catch by Cardulo.
He dove for it. My apologies on the error from me, but he definitely dove for that one. That would have been an impressive catch.
Yeah, speaking of Sports Center, that might have landed on there.
That's a not top 10 right now, but it could have been a top 10.
That's a great effort play there by Cardulo.
Dulo's been playing amazing so far.
Big hit by Den Decker, though. The ground rule double with 2 outs puts him on second and in scoring position for David Washington. The first pitch to Washington in there for a strike, 0-1. Simmons has a man to worry about now on second base.
Stephen Cardulo is one of those guys that will play with his heart on his sleeve. He'll pour it out every time he's on that field. So to see him attempt to make that diving catch was nothing but, routine for him.
Yeah, what you expect from him, a guy who hustles hard, comes every day to work.
And he expects nothing but greatness from himself either, which is why he's a former major leaguer with the Rockies, He was there for a reason, and that shows why. It's his work ethic.
1-1 count here, man on second in Den Decker. David Washington at the plate for the Ducks. The 1-1. This one hit hard down the line, foul. 2 strikes, a 1-2 count here for Washington.
Things are starting to take shape here, Kevin. The Rockers are looking to try and get some momentum going here.
Yeah, they're trying to get out of the inning. If you're the Ducks, this is your time to shine here. It'd be a great time to capitalize. The 1-2 to Washington. This one hit foul.
Up and over. Who's going to get it?
Into the crowd.
The roof got it. This is an amazing ballpark. Don't you think?
BB&T Point, a great place to be.
Definitely looks amazing under the lights, which we'll see here later in the game.
All-turf field. Beautifully laid out.
It's really a sight to see when a player slides and you just see the turf come up off the... It's awesome.
Man on second for the Ducks. The 1-2 from Simmons. Washington hits this one away as well. Another battle here by the Long Island Ducks. And we see another long at-bat for Simmons.
A place I wouldn't want to be right now, second base. The sun's still right over it. It can come into play. You never know.
Right behind the base. So
yes.
Tougher now for the shortstop in Alfonso than it is for Leidendorf. But yeah, that is a tricky place to be, especially if you're trying to turn 2 right now. Not in this situation, but later down the line. A strikeout here for Simmons as he gets Washington to strike out. So Simmons works out of harm's way to end the opportunity for the Ducks. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Gomez, Cardulo, Bichette Jr. due up for the Rockers. We'll be right back. You're listening to High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome you back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with you. Alongside James Jackson, Hector Gomez makes his way to the plate here for the Rockers. Fisher still out there for the Ducks. The first pitch to Gomez, outside for a ball. The pitcher for the Ducks, it's still Jake Fisher, number 13.
I just watched Paul Clemens just walk over and give a kid a baseball into the stands.
The ball in there for a strike, 1-1.
The Rockers are definitely a fan favorite. They do anything to make the fans smile.
The 1-1 hit by Hector Gomez into left field. Then Decker catches it for out number 1. This brings up Steven Cardulo, the man who hit the home run here in the second inning, the solo home run, the only run on the board for the Rockers, a 1-0 lead for the Rockers. The first pitch of the at-bat in there for a strike. The Rockers lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The 0-1 up for a ball, 1-1 count.
Cardulo is definitely not the type of guy to swing at anything. He'll take his moment and take his chance to swing, and when he does, make you pay for it if he can connect it.
Cardulo fouls that one away, quickly 1-2. One out in the inning after Gomez flied out to left field. The 1-2. Cardulo gets that one right past Frias at shortstop.
Stay on first.
And he will do just that. Stays at first. Came around the corner, thought about it, and gets in there for a single. 2 for 2 on the day is Cardulo. And this brings up the ever-popular Dante Bichette Jr.
The greatest co-host of Off the Rockers we've ever had.
I think
he just basically took over our show.
If he has it his way, and I hope this is true, he is trying to position himself as one of the co-hosts, and I'm all for it.
I am too, and I'm sure the fans are as well.
The first pitch of the at-bat for him, outside for a ball, 1-0.
Bichette Jr., former first-round draft pick by the New York Yankees, ended up playing with the Trenton Thunder. Of course, the son of Colorado Rocky Dante Bichette and brother of Bo Bichette, top Blue Jays prospect.
1-0 count here for Bichette Jr. Cardulo on first. Dulo, a guy with a lot of speed, so Fisher keeping an eye on him. The 1-0. This one in there for a strike, 1-1 count.
You know, Kevin, one thing I remember about our podcast interview with Dante was he said he fell back in love with this game. And I definitely think when he fell back in love with this game and he realized what this game meant to him as an entertainment industry and how he's here to entertain the fans, that one goes up and out.
Yeah, this one fouled away, 1-2. Yeah, that was very interesting to hear what he had to say. And he said when he decided that, you know, the point is to entertain everybody who comes out and have a good time and play well and play loose. He said, ever since I've been doing that, the game comes to him a lot easier, and he has a lot more fun playing the game, and you can see that as a fan and from up here. The 1-2 to Bichette Jr., this one out of the zone, 2-2.
You can also see that by looking at his stats. He's batting over 400 right now.
Yeah, he's
playing the best baseball all season so far.
He's playing great. He's great with the fans. He's a ton of fun to watch, fun to talk to, and helping out the Rockers right now in this hot streak they have right now. 6 wins in a row as Fisher goes over to check on Cardullo again. Nothing going on there. Quincy Lattimore, King Quincy, as Dante has nicknamed him, on deck for the Rockers. Fisher ready to deliver the 2-2 pitch. This one outside again, 3-2, and Cardullo kind of made a move late like he was going to go, which I think took Sanchez a little bit out of the play as he popped up right after the pitch and looked down at Cardullo at first base. So a full count now for Bichette Jr., 1 out in the inning.
Cardullo has no problem stealing the base.
The 3-2, this one down and away, 4-4. So great job by Bichette Jr. to stay patient and work on the first base. Sanchez is going to come out here to talk to Fisher as it's a 1-0 lead for the High Point Rockers here in the top of the 4th. Number 23, Quincy Lattimore, the DH tonight for your Rockers, steps up to the plate. 21 RBIs, and James, a guy who on the last road trip had quite the hitting explosion.
Oh, those home runs, I can't remember the exact amount, maybe 4.
It was 5 and 6. 5 and 6 games.
It was insane. Quincy has definitely stepped up. He deserves to be called King Q, as Dante likes to remind us. So
when you go on a run like that, you got to have a cool nickname.
He is definitely a talent that the Rockers are happy to have on this roster. Quincy has done big things for the Rockers. Definitely helped us on this win streak we have going right now.
0-1 count here for Quincy. The 0-1 to Lattimore. This one down for a ball. 1-1 count. Runners on first and second for the Rockers. Bichette Jr. and Cardullo at second and first. Cardullo at second, Bichette Jr. at first. A 1-1 count here for Fisher. The 1-1 pitch, a ball, 2-1 count.
I'd look for Quincy to hit one deep here. If not a homer, I'm looking for maybe a double from Quincy.
It's a big prediction there. He would love to just put it in play and try to avoid the double play. That's what the Ducks are hoping for. The 2-1, this one hit down the third base line, foul into the Ducks bullpen.
Well, that was far, but not exactly what I meant. Quincy Lattimore made it all the way to AAA throughout his career. Definitely a guy that you look to make something big happen.
2-2 count here for Lattimore. The 2-2 down in the turf. 3-2 count.
Are we going to have a bases loaded situation with Schroeder on base?
Coming up to bat.
Coming up to bat.
It could look that way. Fisher is hoping that is not the case. He would like to get out of it. And the Ducks really don't want to have Fisher walk 2 guys in a row here. So Seth Fisher wants to throw something that's a strike and try to get Quincy out, but he doesn't want to throw something too nice where Quincy gets ahead. Let's see what he does. This one popped up. This could be exactly what the Ducks want. Washington running over to the first base side. This one bounces on top of the dugout and just gets out.
A fan made an incredible catch as the crowd applauds that one. Did you see the guy who made a catch out in right field with one hand the other day?
I heard it. I heard the crowd go crazy. I can't see the right field crowd from here.
I don't know if you saw a video of it.
I did not. I heard the buzz, though.
That was definitely impressive. Our fans are the best so far. Definitely get those guys on here after the open tryouts we had today.
3-2 count here for Quincy Lattimore. Runners on first and second for the Rockers. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. A 1-0 lead for the Rockers. The 3-2 to Lattimore. This one hit between second and short. This one gets into the outfield, and Keefe waves in Schroeder. Bichette Jr. is going to get tagged out at third. Schroeder coming up. Cardulo was the one who got waved home. And Keefe knows the speed he has in Cardulo, so Quincy Lattimore will get credit for the RBI single there, as Cardulo scores from second base. Schroeder, who I was talking about earlier, comes up to bat now. Quickly, a 2-0 lead for the Rockers.
Both by Stephen Cardulo.
Stephen Cardulo involved in some way, shape, or form.
Capacity of that run.
Schroeder hits this one into right field, foul for strike one. So yeah, Cardulo solo home run in the bottom of the second to lead off the second inning, and then this time gets on with a single, and King Quincy Lattimore adds another RBI to his total as he hits in Cardulo from second base. That was a ball on the ground. Just found the gap, and Cardulo's quick. Jamie Keefe knows his guys. The skipper was waving him in as soon as he saw the ball pass between Moreno and Frias there.
You know, a little fact about Miles Schroeder is he bats right and left. I don't know if you've known that.
Yeah, he's a switch hitter.
He is a switch hitter, and you know, I don't know how you prepare for that as a pitcher.
Well, the great thing is everyone wants to talk about matchups now in baseball. The 0-1. That was 2 strikes, so that's a strikeout there for Fisher, and that's exactly what he wanted there. He gets Schroeder to swing and strike out, and Fisher gets out of the fourth inning, but not before the Rockers score 1 run on 2 hits to make it 2-0. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Due up for the Long Island Ducks, Sanchez, Fields, and Moreno. You are watching and listening to High Point Rockers Baseball. We'll be right back.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Stepping to the plate here for the Ducks, Hector Sanchez, Kevin McMahon, James Jackson here with you at the point as the Rockers and the Ducks are in the top of the 5th inning. The High Point Rockers lead 2-0. Seth Simmons on the mound for the Rockers has only given up 2 hits so far in this game. The first pitch of the at-bat to Sanchez out of the zone for a ball, 1-0.
Sanchez played with the San Francisco Giants organization.
The 1-0. 1-1. When I was preparing for this series, I was looking at the roster, and you always try to see if there's some names you recognize. Definitely recognize his name. Saw him in batting practice today. I'm like, I definitely recognize him from the Giants. The 1-1. This one hit hard by Sanchez. Right to Almodovar. He hit the last one hard to center field. That's someone you're going to want to be careful with if you're a High Point Rocker pitcher, because he got a hold of both. He has a ton of power. He's going to he's going to get a hit this series. That's not a.
It's granted.
I'm not supposed to be considered a genius by saying that, but you can tell by the way he gets in there. That's a good hitter.
Let's talk about that hustle by Breland Almodovar to get that out.
Great play. Still battling the sun out there, as you mentioned earlier.
It's closing up.
This brings up Daniel Fields, the DH, for the Ducks. This one near him. He has to move out of the way quickly to make it 0-1. Or 1-0, excuse me.
One thing we talked about at the start of this is how excited we were for this series. Both teams are really on a hot streak right now, with the Ducks leading the Liberty division and the Rockers half a game behind on a 6-game win streak. This is honestly a matchup that we had circled on our calendar for a while here.
Absolutely. A 1-1 count here for Daniel Fields. Simmons, the 1-1. That one gets past Fields 1-2. No, and I brought it up to Bichette Jr. and Ladendorf when we talked to him. I said, I know it's early, but this is one that, the Patriots, the Ducks, and the Rockers are all up in that hunt for the Liberty division, as Simmons gets Fields to strike out there. Another strikeout for Seth Simmons, his 4th strikeout of the day.
And if you're looking at the standings, look at how stacked the Liberty division is. 3 of the best teams in the entire league is in the Liberty division.
Yeah, the Rockers just a half game back. The Patriots and the Ducks tied for first. 2 outs in the inning as Rando Moreno steps up. A 1-0 count.
That was a little unusual. Did you see him do a shuffle towards the pitching mound?
Yeah, he walked out of the box there. He was a little taken aback by the pitch there, kind of caught him off guard. That one in the zone, no doubt a strike, 1-1.
Seth Simmons is definitely in the zone with 4 strikeouts on the night so far. One more and they get a Circle K coupon.
Simmons feeling good for sure. 1-2, and that coupon might be coming sooner than later. Simmons 1 strike away here from his 5th strikeout of the game. Here in the top of the 5th, and Simmons looks dialed in as that one fouled away. A 2-0 lead for the Rockers. And, James, we were talking about it earlier. Rockers go on the road and take the series from the Patriots. The Ducks come in. A 1-2 count here from Simmons. This one fouled away. The Ducks come in, who, as we said, 16-8, have a great record, tied for first in the Liberty division. Rockers take the series from the Patriots, have a chance to make some noise against the Ducks. They could really send a message here as a first-year team to the rest of the league based on what happens here in this series.
They don't even have to win. Just keep up with the Ducks.
The 1-2, this one out of the zone.
Just prove you're a contender, and I think people will realize you're a threat. Eventually that win's going to come, whether it's tonight, whether it's down the road. But if you can beat the Long Island Ducks, that's saying something so early this season.
The 2-2 from Simmons. This one hit up into the air. Everybody tracking it down. Holds up because that one bounces right down here in the stands. And this lady in the front row is going to grab it. All right. She's excited about it.
She's got hustle.
And she kept the glass of wine in her hand.
She
there
did.
Too.
That's
some
dedication
talent.
right
that's
there.
That's true talent right there. The 2-2. This one fouled away back into the crowd.
If she had caught that in her glass, we would have been making a heck of an ESPN call. ESPN worthy.
2-2 count here in the box for Moreno. The 2-2 to Moreno. Rando Moreno fouls that one away, staying alive here for the Long Island Ducks. Two count, 2 outs in the inning. Simmons trying to get out of the inning, looking for his third 1-2-3 inning of the game so far. The 2-2. This one hit hard. Up into the air, the play made by Schroeder in left field for out number 3. So Moreno pops out to Schroeder, and Seth Simmons gets the Ducks to go down in order for the third time this evening. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's Austin Alfonso and Ladendorf due up. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts.
Welcome back to BB&C Point. Kevin McMahon, James Jackson here with you in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 is the score. The Rockers lead. Brett Austin up to bat here for the Rockers. Austin, first pitch swinging. This one hit right towards Frias, the third baseman for the Ducks. He fires it over to Washington for out number 1. A great start for Jake Fisher, who's back on the mound for the Ducks. Great start. That's exactly what the Ducks needed there, James.
That was what the Ducks needed, and not what High Point wanted. Not at all. But Gio Alfonso coming up to bat here. If he can get on base, he's really a threat anytime. The pitcher needs to look out for him. He can steal a base at any moment. Dude's quick.
He is quick, has a great baseball IQ. Got the chance to talk to Gio Alfonso before the game. You'll be able to hear that one tomorrow morning before the game. We'll run it as a pregame interview. And he's great. And he was very excited, as you said, the first pitch in for a strike to him, 1 out in the inning. He was very excited to see his former team. He played at the Ducks, and he was excited to see his former team, and he says he's excited to be in this series. The 0-1, swung on, hit foul down the right field line, 0-2.
And don't get us wrong. Gio loves seeing his old team, but he loves being here in High Point as well. He loves his guys here, and you meet those players, and you make that friendship throughout your career.
The 0-2, high up in the zone, out of the zone, 1-2 count. The 1-2 from Fisher. That one hit again by Alfonso. 1-2. The one thing about Giovanni Alfonso is he puts together great at-bats. He gets in there, and he makes a pitcher work. Fisher, who finds himself here in the bottom of the 5th inning, has given up 2 runs. This is exactly the kind of at-bat you want to have as a batter against him. Another one fouled away. The 1-2 fouled away again by Alfonso. That goes back to that high IQ. Giovanni Alfonso staying alive, making life difficult here for Fisher on the mound.
Gio taking a step back, preparing himself for this.
The 1-2. Fouled away by Giovanni Alfonso once again. So a quick at-bat, I think a one-pitch at-bat, or 2 or 3 pitch at-bat for Brett Austin. And a long one here for Alfonso. Here in the bottom of the 5th, the 1-2, that one high, out of the zone for a ball, 2-2 up near the head. Giovanni had to lean out of the way there. The 2-2 for Gio. A big swing. Fisher gets the strikeout. Strike 3. Out number 2. That brings up Tyler Ladendorf. Ladendorf, 2 strikeouts in his last 2 appearances.
He's definitely looking to put up something big for the Rockers here.
As we talked about in the pregame interview with Ladendorf, as the first pitch of the at-bat is in there for a strike. A guy who found himself playing the role of the hero last game. Clinched the sweep for the Rockers with a solo walk-off home run. This one fouled away for a strike.
When he gets dialed in, it's almost impossible to stop him. Honestly, when he gets in that mindset, he is definitely a threat to any pitcher.
The 0-2 to Ladendorf. Fisher felt good about that one, was already walking off the mound. That went outside for a ball, 1-2. The 1-2. Ladendorf hits this one over for out number 3 to Lombardozzi, who makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So Fisher gets the Rockers to go down 1-2-3 after the ground ball is handled by Lombardozzi. Due up for the Rockers here in the for the Ducks in the top of the 6th inning. It'll be Frias, Fuentes, and Lombardozzi. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with you. In the top of the 6th inning, the Rockers lead 2-0. Coming up to bat here for the Long Island Ducks, it's Vladimir Frias. Seth Simmons still on the mound, the first pitch of the at-bat. The first pitch out of the zone for a ball, 1-0. 1-1 count as the second pitch of the at-bat. A strike.